Hey y'all, Jupiter James here. Welcome back to my channel where I do what I want, when I want, and today I want to talk about astrology, specifically the planets through the houses series. This is going to be my 6th part to the series, and today we're going to talk about Pluto. Pluto is one of the most mysterious and, kind of intense planets in the zodiac, and we're going to get into what that energy is when they fall through the houses. Whenever I see Pluto through the houses, I know that it indicates that the soul has a lot of strength, power, and transformation in that area of life. So let's get into it. So with Pluto in the 1st house, this is going to mean that the person's physicality, who this person is, has to go through a lot of transformation in life, and they will always be met with intense situations, and they will have a lot of control issues within where they go, who they're around, what they like, what they don't like. Because with Pluto in the 1st house, this is gonna mean that this person wants to have control over who they are. And they are gonna be very intense, they're gonna be very controlling, they're gonna be very hard to wrangle in. This gives me very much like Scorpio vibes, like Scorpio ascendant vibes, So like, this is gonna be a mysterious person who has a lot of, and wants a lot of control within who they are. They could be a little manipulative, they could be very controlling, they could be very jealous. But if it's not one of those things, it does mean at best, it means that this person just goes through a lot of transformations in their life, and they are very powerful and can hold their own in intense situations. So how does it feel to be so powerful? How does it feel to be met with intense situations but have the strength to get through it? Because that's ultimately what it means, that you have the strength to get through these tough situations. Although you're always transforming and you're going through these situations and things always come to you, you have the power and the resilience and the fortitude to get through it. So how does that feel? How does that feel, Pluto in the 1st house? I love it. So with Pluto in the 2nd house, this is gonna mean that this is someone who has a lot of power and control within their resources and their money. This person probably is really good at making money and like getting money and attracting money. And not only that, their money transforms them in some way or another. This person uses their money to transform their values, or they will have a transformation within their values. They will have a transformation within their money over the course of their lives. So this could be like a rags to riches type of person, where one minute they were broke and then the next minute they're a millionaire, or vice versa. And it'll probably just fluctuate depending on how the chart is. But yeah, how does it feel to be transformed by your money and make a lot of it, or be very powerful in the area of money? Like, you must have a lot of money and a lot of resources, and your values must be very strong. Whatever you believe in, you hold to that belief very dearly, and it's very intense for you. So how does that feel, Pluto in the 2nd house? How does that feel? Awesome. So with Pluto in the 3rd house, this is gonna mean that this person is very influential with their speech. They're very influential and can influence others, and has the power to transform others with what they communicate about. So this gives me very much like Tony Robbins vibes, or anyone who, when they speak, they transform the people that they talk to, or they transform environments and situations based on what they say and the ideas that they hold true to themselves. And so whatever this person writes, communicates, and thinks about has a lot of power to transform others, and it has a lot of influence. So how does that feel to know that when you speak, not only do people listen, but they listen so intently that you have the power to transform the ideas of others. You literally can influence the way people think about a situation and themselves, and you are probably a really good salesman, a really good motivational speaker, a very good writer, because whatever you want to convey, you will convey it, and you know how to get people to understand you. You know it. I don't know how you know it, but you know it. Awesome. So with Pluto in the 4th house, this is going to mean that this is someone who has a lot of control and power and influence within their home life. Like, at home, they are probably the matriarch. At home, they are the ones that like get things done and get shit done. Like, they just, like, you are probably also transformed by your home in one way or another. You probably, when you go home, no one knows where you are. You go into your shell, you go into your cocoon and like no one knows where you are or what you do all day, because once you're home it's kind of hard for you to get out of that shell. But it's because you hold so much power in that. You hold so much power in being a little bit reclusive and to yourself at home. Yeah, so with Pluto in the 5th house, this is gonna mean that this is someone who is very, very, very adept in creative. This gives me very much like jack of all trades vibes. Like whatever you create, you're gonna be the best at it. Whatever you put your mind to, whatever you express, when you finally do express, you know, you are going to be so good and so adept with it that it transforms. You have a way about you that like people don't want to mess with you. People when you create, they're like, oh, that's the standard. That's the standard of creation. You are the blueprint. Like you when you create something, you just like it always comes out well, and people are always like, wow, like what the hell, because it transforms the landscape. It transforms the landscape or the industry of anything that you're doing. So say you're a chef and your creative modality is in to be a cook or to be a chef. You will transform that industry of being a chef or a cook, because what you do will be so top of the line that it will transform the way people see that industry. So yeah, that's Pluto in the 5th house. And your relationships and the dates you go on and the people that you affiliate yourself with as far as like romantic love, they will transform you. Like you will probably feel in a way like, oh my God, like I'm gonna change this person's life, but really they transform you. Whenever you break up with someone, you're like, all right, I'm gonna get in that gym and I'm gonna come out 20 times hotter, watch. Like, you know, it's like people who break your heart or let you down, they're like the catalyst to you transforming. And so, yeah. So with Pluto in the 6th house, this is gonna mean that this is someone who has a lot of power and a lot of control and a lot of discipline when it comes to their daily routines and what they do on a daily basis. This will also mean that this person has a lot of very powerful enemies. Like whoever your enemies are, they're very, very, very powerful and very secretive. And like, you also have the power to defeat your enemies in a way. Like just as powerful as the enemy, it's because you are that powerful. And in your workplace, you have a lot of influence. In your workplace and your job will transform you in one way or another. You probably have a lot of influence within your job and or in your routines in your day-to-day. So like waking up at 6 a.m. and maybe working until 12 midnight is not hard for you. It's because you have so much power in that area of your life. Yeah. How does that feel to be on top of your shit? How does that feel to be on top of your game and like, you know, want to dominate your industry and whatever you choose? How does that feel? It must feel nice. So with Pluto in the 7th house, this is going to be someone who, you know, you are always going to attract very powerful partners. You're going to attract very powerful friends and very powerful relationships and romantic relationships. You are also going to be transformed by those relationships, or you transform the relationships that you are in a lot. Like, yeah, so and you also seek to kind of control relationships. Like whatever relationship you find yourself in, you wear the pants. You're the one calling the shots. You tell them to jump, they say how high. It's like that. It's like you find a lot of power in your relationships and being in relationship. By you affiliating yourself with people and joining forces with people, you gain power, you gain influence, you gain, yeah. So how does that feel? How does that feel? So with Pluto in the 8th house, this is gonna be at home. So Pluto is at home in this house because Pluto rules the 8th house. And so this is gonna mean that this person is gonna go through a lot of transformations in life. This person is gonna be very, very, very sexual and love sex and use sex as a way to get control over others and resources out of others. And it's where this person is gonna find their most power in. It's in transformation and in sex and being sexy and just being that person. In the bedroom, you probably feel like Angelina Jolie. You probably feel like, I don't know, whoever the hot guy is. Like, you feel like that bitch, that guy in the bedroom, and you probably gain a lot of control and power, and you can manipulate people by having sex with them, or you probably also know other people's secrets. You can get other people's secrets out of them, and you know how to use your intimacy and use your sexual nature to just get over on people or get what you want out of people. And you keep that a secret. You don't want people to know that you know that that's happening. So this gives me very much like sugar baby vibes, or like someone who's just very sexy and they almost play coy, like, no, I'm not sexy, I don't know what you mean, like, but can I have $1,000? Like, and they get $1,000. So yeah, how does that feel? With Pluto in the 9th house, this is going to be someone who finds a lot of power and transformation within their philosophies and what they learn in this life. You are going to be someone who is very, very philosophical and very tapped into the higher truths of the world and higher knowledge. You also find transformation when you travel and when you are spreading the knowledge that you've learned. When you are being as philosophical as you know you are, and you are articulating the things that you have learned in this life, you will transform people, and you also will transform yourself as well. You probably love to be away in a foreign country because you feel the most powerful in a foreign country. You feel the most powerful when you are soaking up different cultures. Yeah, so now, with Pluto in the 10th, this is going to be someone who has a lot of influence in their career. This is like almost like fame vibes. You're going to be someone who in their career, if you're not famous, you're going to work your way up to the top of that corporate ladder very quickly. You're going to make a lot of money from that. Like, I have a friend who has Scorpio in the 10th house, and he is just like a shark. Like, he is literally like, and he's at the top, and he's got a lot of money, and like, you know, yeah, and I always ask him, like, you know, in your career, are you always seeing who is coming before they come? Like, do you know who your enemies are? Do you know who needs to be taken down? Do you know, can you read between the lines? And he's like, yeah, that's literally my job. He's like, I have to read between the lines and know things and project things before they happen, or I'm out. And that's Pluto in the 10th house. Nicki Minaj has this, well, she has Scorpio in the 10th, but it's the same thing. It's like, and notice how she always knows who's doing what. She always knows who's doing what, and also notice how much influence and how much power she has in the industry that she has. So this doesn't mean that you're automatically going to be a singer or someone famous. It just means that whatever you do in your career, you're gonna have a lot of power in it. You're gonna be the best at it. You're gonna dominate it. You're gonna dominate the force. You're gonna dominate the field. You're gonna dominate the industry. And it's just like, you're gonna be very attractive in it. You're gonna hold a lot of power and a lot of influence in it. So how does it feel? How does it feel to just make your career your bitch? How does that feel? Must feel nice. So with Pluto in the 11th house, this is gonna be someone who has a lot of power and influence with their friends and the higher organizations that they align themselves with. You are gonna find power when you bring something to the table that can help heal humanity in a way, or help shape humanity in a way, or society in a way. So I would encourage bringing something to the table, or that idea that you've been thinking about forever. I want you to put it out in the world, because I promise you will have a lot of influence and you will find power in doing that. And not only will you find power, but you will transform the masses, and by that you will be transformed. So do it. Do that thing that's on your mind. Like, whenever I see 11th house placements, I really encourage people to take the idea that they've been dreaming about and start to work on it and cultivate it and put it out, because we need it. When the universe gives you 11th house placements, it means that you are someone that is meant to change the world. You are meant to do something, or invent something, or say something, or be something that changes the world. And so, yeah, there you go. With Pluto in the 12th house, this is going to be someone who is like a medium. You're a shaman. You are a magician. You are going to be someone within the spiritual realm who's very powerful. You are probably someone who also transforms a lot and can transform others spiritually. You are going to be very adept, very adept in the regard of spirituality and occultism and astrology and mediumship and brujeria, like whatever it is that is spiritual and the unseen, you're gonna be adept in it. You're gonna have the most influence and the most control in it, and you're gonna be so powerful at it. So fuck yeah, like get it. Like I don't even know why you're watching this video, because you probably already knew this about yourself. Like that's how adept you are. You already knew these things. Like you just probably were bored and needed confirmation. So there you go. My name is Jupiter James, y'all. That was my video. That was my 6th part to my Planets Through the Houses series. If anyone needs a birth chart reading, a love reading, a career and destiny reading, I'm sure the stars have a solution for you, and I'll be happy to relay the message. Hit my links below, and I'll see y'all on the next one, all right? I love y'all. Have a good one.